That was great. Thanks, Billie. CD still available? I have no idea. YouTube. Yeah, that was YouTube. That's true. Or SoundCloud. It was on YouTube as well.
Yep. Welcome to those of you on Facebook Live and YouTube to the Home Spiritual Center Sunday service for October 28th, 2023. And everybody here in the chapel, welcome this morning. Our opening prayer. This morning, with the rising sun, a new day began. I'm excited about this day. I feel full of love, full of spiritual light. I feel exuberant with patience for my family, friends, and co-workers. Outwardly, I may feel spent and tired. That's vertical. Inwardly, I know I am renewing me day by day, infinitely splendid. I will face my troubles today, knowing they are not insurmountable, but light and momentary compared to the world's load of challenges. I thank God for blessing me with my home center family. I may not always get along with them or agree with them, but I am in this specific family for a reason. I pray that we all stay encouraged in our faith, in spirit, and in our current expression of life. I pray that we support each other even more as we grow and progress through life. I pray that if anyone in my home center family is struggling, I will be able to help them or find another family member that can help. Sometimes I experience a lack of words in what to say, how to encourage, and how to show I love my family. Sometimes it's difficult. I know in my heart, my spiritual heart, the two words I can speak: bless you. If that's all I have, that will do. I love you all. Bless you. Amen.
Amen.
And I don't know who I turn it over to now.
Pick me.
Okay.
All right. So this morning we have a guest speaker. Billie Schultz is going to be our speaker today. But I also have to tell the story of how all this came about. So as many of you know, our neighbors over here purchased a calf last spring. And so over the course of the summer, many of us became attached and quite concerned about this calf that's over here. It wasn't, it just, the people just didn't know how to raise a cow. And we became very concerned about what they didn't know. And so so just, I don't know, a couple months ago, as throughout the summer, the cow would moo at us when we would come to church, and like it was talking to us, and we developed this relationship and this heart connection with this calf. And a couple months ago, Marla, our animal communicator, she came here and she said, I gotta have a calf. I need to take it home. It needs a farm to live on, not tethered to a piece of equipment out here. So we all got together, and they were asking for more than the cow was worth. But anyway, got it down to a reasonable number, and our congregation pitched in for a portion of the fee that they were asking for, and Marla paid for the other portion of it, and got the cow out to the happy farm of Marla's place. And yeah, so it was such a relief for all of us to know that beautiful, sweet calf had a happy home. And she still continues to send me video clips of it running across the pasture and eating hay with the sheep. She hasn't been around another cow, so she might think she's a sheep, but that's okay. She is happy, and Marla said she's such a sweet addition to their farm. But in the meantime of this, Billie says, I have this talk. It's called Lessons from Cows. I'd be glad to share it with you guys. It's like, well, how fitting. And I wore my favorite flannel shirt just for the occasion, and got the whole cow theme going on up here. So it's going to be really fun. So Billie, I think I said, did I just call you Marla? Yeah. She's Billie. So Billie is a writer. She's a poet, photographer, Reiki master, passionate about Reiki. I received one of her treatments. It's lovely. She's a compassionate. She has a compassionate nature and appreciates beauty and poses or possesses a quirky sense of humor. So we all need a quirky sense of humor. So come on up, Billie, and let's have this message. Okay, folks, you're going to be surprised.
Are you ready to be amused? Okay, here we go.
I gotta stop this right now. People, there are more than just Holstein cows. I raise Angus, and there are many other breeds.
So this
Everybody's
works for us right
associated
now.
with Holsteins.
Oh, thank you so much. I would like to thank Madge for the opportunity to do this. And what a nice herd. I mean, are you in the mood for some fun? Okay. Okay. I think I've done my job already. So I'd like to thank Madge for this opportunity. She has no idea what she was in for. And and you can also thank my children for a lot of the inspiration for this talk today. Lessons from cows. So we'll be talking about some of the common terms that are associated with cows. And the first one is pasteurized. So thank you for allowing me to come up and do this. So in order to get a clearer meaning, I went to the dictionary to look up the term and see what pasteurization is. And it is a process that renders milk free from disease-producing bacteria, and it prevents spoiling without destroying vitamins or changing the taste. So it destroys things that are harmful, and it retains all of the good. Pasteurize. Well, how does this relate to us? As humans, we are at times less than perfect. By eliminating things that taint us and accenting the positive, we can retain our true spirit, and we too can be pasteurized. So, cows are very spiritual. We've all heard the term holy cow. There really is something to this. The Hindus, they revere the cow as a sacred cow because of all that they have to offer. According to their mythological account, the cow is the mother of all gods and declared to be a proper object of worship by Brahma. They're sacred, they're never eaten, it is prohibited for them to be slaughtered, and they utilize them in many ways, milk, butter, plowing their fields, producing grain, pulling heavy loads. This is a lot. They produce fuel and fertilizer. The majority of their energy is created from bullock power, and a very small percentage is fossil fuel. They have antiseptic qualities, and they use it for warmth and cooling in their homes. It even acts as a mosquito repellent. So next summer, take a cow with you when you go camping. So it's no wonder that they call them sacred cows, and they protect and care for them. Now I've brought an assortment of cows with me today. So the first slide here is a replica of one of the cows on parade. Does anybody remember when the cows on parade were here? They were all across America and internationally. And this one is the Infinity Cow. Portland was host to Cows for Kids in 2002. So this Infinity Cow has stars and stripes and even the moon. It happens to be purple, which is a very spiritual color. And looking at this cow, we can be reminded of the beauty of nature that God has to offer us. God's beauty is all around us, in the eyes of the people around us, in the sights and the smells of the flowers and the trees. in the ever-changing scenery of the sky. If you use your imagination when you're looking around at the clouds or a sunset or a star-filled sky, tell me if any artist could create anything more beautiful. Beauty is everywhere you are, and all you have to do is open your eyes and appreciate it. Now, I have a little prop here, and this is what I affectionately call my pooping cow. So these are fresh jelly beans just in case. So pooping represents elimination. And in order to have a more serene and peaceful life, there are sometimes things that we need to eliminate. In our human experience, these might be things like a bad relationship, bad habits, a lousy job, or material items that serve only to take up space and serve no benefit or bring no joy to our lives. Is there anyone in this room that has never had a bad relationship? It may be painful to give up, but if you give it up, you open up space to have something better come into your life. One of the relationships that I had to give up was with my youngest son. He crossed the boundaries of a respectful relationship, and I lost 3 years of that relationship. 3 years that I can never get back. But by letting go and eliminating that source of distress, it allowed him to grow into the wonderful young man he is today. I'm so proud to have that handsome young man in my life. It brings joy to my heart. He's taken himself very far. He has saved lives, literally, and he's the father to my grandchild. If I had hung on to it, our relationship would not be as good as it is today. It was unhealthy, it was unloving, and today it's wonderful. We can laugh and play, and it's based on mutual respect. So I urge you to take a few moments before you go home today and think about what brings irritation in your life. Many of the things that we complain about are of our own doing. Think about it. It may be hard to admit, but you may find some truth in that many of the things that are irritating our life that we complain about are of our own doing. And this practice of elimination will leave room for those things that you want. I love my cooking. So we say we want things, we're unwilling to get rid of them, and if we make space, we can accept our good. So the next slide that we have coming up, this is my grandkid. I hear a little giggle. This is my grandkid, for real. My kids call her Clover, I call her Billie Goat.
It's as close as you're going to get to a cow. Huh?
Well, things are not always what they seem. So is this a cow in goat clothing, or is this a goat in cow clothing? This is my grandkid. Have you ever made a quick decision about a person or a situation, and then after a period of time found out you were all wrong about it? Have you met a person that you were willing to write off, and then found out they were truly a gift in your life? At one of the jobs I had, we had wonderful service people, some of who I initially had a less than positive impression of. As I worked with them, I found that they were very dedicated to their jobs and to serving their customers well. The UPS lady was a great example. Her reputation was that she was not very friendly. We had a situation where she was complaining about a large number of our shipments, so they called me up front to explain to her what it was. There's different shipping rates for documents and packages, but we had documents that we had to put in boxes. So I took the time to explain to her why it really was documents, even though they were in boxes. And, it took a little bit, and she understood, and we understood that we were there to serve each other in the best possible way. And it was very good after that. We had understanding of what was going on, and we appreciated each other's efforts. So that example shows us that even if it means taking that extra bit of effort, that it's worthwhile to go ahead and do that. Not every time, but it is a good thing. Another example one time was a friend of my youngest son. He was a freak. He still looks like a freak, but he's okay with that. And he actually turned into my buddy. And this was when the kids were younger. He wouldn't follow the rules of my house. I banned him from my house. He wouldn't stay away. I even called the police on him because he wouldn't stay away. And my son, he knew the rules, but he would feed him or invite him in to take a shower. And it was not my responsibility to take care of this homeless kid. And I knew it wouldn't teach him anything anyway. Besides, he wouldn't follow my rules, so I had no inclination to be nice or to help him out. Years later, after my son and I had reconciled, I was visiting with him, and this friend happened to be there. We were reminiscing about the old days, and we had the opportunity to talk about some of the stories. And I told him what a freak I thought he was. He apologized to me. He apologized not once, but 3 times. He admitted that he was stupid and immature, and he really was sorry. It took 3 times, but I finally heard it. And so I got up and I hugged him, and he turned into my buddy. If I ever needed a scary friend, I knew who to call, and he would be there. So each of us in this room, I'm sure, has had an experience or a situation that we initially labeled bad or uncomfortable or unbearable. And after we got through it, if we are good truth students, we're able to appreciate that we were able to learn something that we could take with us from that time forward. Something that had we not had what we call a bad experience, we would have missed an opportunity to learn a valuable lesson. So we would have missed an opportunity to be more of who we truly are. So, not to be utterly disgusting, but no conversation about cows would be complete without talking about cow chips. Now, I'm not talking about my buddy here. In the days gone by, cows wore cowbells around their neck, and this is so the farmers could locate them out in the field. So today, that cow chip is replaced by something more modern. This cow chip I'm sorry, I got off track. This cow chip is a microchip. So not the droppings from the poopy cow. So the microchip is, of course, an electronic device, and it helps the farmer locate the cows in the field, and it monitors it. It monitors its food, it monitors its milk production, and it retains its medical history. So if this cow needs something in particular, they can dispense appropriate food for it to take care of it. So it is customized to the individual needs of the cow. So if I'm not a cow, how does that relate to me? If I monitor myself and notice when things are out of whack, then I can consciously make decisions to correct it. A lack of milk production might represent a lack of energy, a change of sleeping habits, and God forbid if we lost our sense of humor. So whatever that means to you, if you pay attention to your own little microchip, we probably have a couple of signals that forewarn us that something is about to become out of balance. So maybe we should just all go get a cow chip. Wouldn't it be nice if we had that so that it would tell us that we're needing better nutrition, so we could maintain that balanced and satisfying life? But we're humans. We don't have a cow chip. So instead, In our sometimes foolish human ways, we keep on going until something breaks or we get sick. Then we run to the doctor's office, and then he waves his magic prescription at us, and we cover up the symptoms. And we go on with our merry and not so merry lives. Maybe, as enlightened beings, that's why we come here on Sundays, so that we can recharge our spirit beings and accent the positive areas in our life. The more we pay attention to the positives, the less we can be bothered by the not so positive. We've all heard of the law of attraction. Where your attention lies is our intention. And that's been around for a long time. There's many ways of saying it. What you focus on, you get more of. So it's very true. Where your attention lies is your intention. So I encourage you to think about that and make it work to your advantage. Catch yourself thinking. Stop the negative thoughts. Replace them with positive affirmations, sticky notes, reminders, whatever works for you to keep your focus where it should be. Pay attention to your cow chips. Watch your step, and you can avoid a catastrophe. So we're ready for the next slide.
Is it flying cow?
The flying cow. Now, a flying cow, I got something similar to this for my son, my oldest son, as a homecoming present. He had been in Minnesota. He had been gone for 6 months. I'd never been away from my son for 6 months. And it was Christmas time. I met him at the airport. I put a big red bow around his neck. And he was a bit embarrassed and grumbled. If I wasn't his mother, he wouldn't let me do it. But I was excited. He was my Christmas present. And he was even more embarrassed when I had a total stranger take our picture at the airport. When we arrived home, there was a welcome banner in the window. The living room was decorated with black and white crepe paper from one end to the other, and a flying cow. What a homecoming, and it was a great conversation piece. So the flying cow can represent our spirit, a spirit of joy and happiness, a spirit that doesn't have to have a reason for being, just the joy of knowing that we are a piece of the infinite holy cow, Spirit of God. I love it when I feel this spirit. Sometimes I just feel it well up inside of me for no reason. What a wonderful feeling to be happy just because you're happy. And you know what? I think it can be contagious. So that was not the only flying cow that was in my family. The year that he graduated from college, he got a bunch of gifts. He got money. I even wrote him a check for $1 million because he's worth it. He liked his presents and all. But when he opened the last one, it was a cow kite. Another flying cow. And you could see some real excitement when he opened that. It was in segments. It was probably 5 or 6 feet long. I never got to see it myself, but I understand he got a lot of attention with it. It just wouldn't it be wonderful if we had that spirit with us all the time. We can practice and appreciate this feeling. And the more we acknowledge it, the more we can experience. We can fly as high as we want, for as long as we want, for as long as we decide to. Because we have power over how we feel. So catch that spirit and be a flying cow. Now this next slide here, that is a picture of Cow Daddy. That's beefsteak, and he currently has 15 black Agnes. And just a fun little fact here, our first date was about 6 years ago. He called me up and invited me to go to the state fair to look at cows because he didn't want to go by himself. So that was our first date, and we just had our 6 years, and that's what we did was we went back to the state fair. So I hope that I have planted at least one seed that you can grow. It might it might be a fuller appreciation for beauty, or the willingness to take a second look at a person or a situation and find the good in it. It might be finding that spirit of joy that will keep you flying high in good times and in bad times, knowing that you are a holy cow. I mean, a cherished child of God with a special gift to offer. So let us take our lessons from cows and plant our seeds to enhance our lives and stay in a good mood. These come with instructions to start your own herd. You have to plant them in a warm spot, right side up. Cows will grow upside down if they're planted wrong. Be patient. It takes a long time to start your own herd, and for best results, move softly when watering. So, I thank you all for being here. Now go forth and pasteurize.
That was great. Oh, look at that little beanie. Isn't that cute? we always had goats when I was growing up, and this family came to visit us, and they had a little guy about 4 years old, and he was going all underneath the apple trees picking up all the beanies. Oh, mommy, look at the beanies. Oh dear. Yeah, those beanies need to stay on the ground. It was cute. Thank you so much, Billie. That was a lot of fun and very inspirational. You wove humor with inspiration beautifully. So now we're going to just do a little bit of a meditation. So let's close your eyes, get yourself comfortable. Take a nice deep breath and let it out. And we're going to just play on the words of the message today and think about your soul and what is it in your soul that you would like to pasteurize in the process of releasing. What is it in there that you no longer need that's kind of contaminating the rest of the goodness of what you have in your life experiences? What is it that is going to no longer fit with your higher vibrational process, that which is equivalent to the heat of pasteurization? If you pasteurize your soul, what would fall out? And just release those, identify them, see them, and just let them go. What is not in harmony with the higher vibration of your loving thoughts, of your good intentions, of the places that your soul wants to grow? What is it that needs to be released and no longer is compatible with that area of your life? And allow it to be alchemized, allow it to be released, and allow it to just become fertile soil for the earth, releasing this that you no longer need down into the earth. The earth knows what to do with it. It's just energy to the earth. To us, it might be a harmful vibrational frequency, a harmful thought, something that's no longer serving us. And we could just release that into the earth. The earth knows what to do, and it's just energy and becomes a part of the source of energy that circles back to us and enlivens us and fuels us. And then shift your attention to what is positive in your life. And put your attention on the positive things, the good outcomes, the things that are showing up better and better in your world. And put your attention and your intentions on that to grow. Allow that to be what you feed, to be that you water. That is what you pay attention to, so that it becomes more in your life. And allow it to just be what is going to fall into your tomorrows. More of those positive actions, more of the positivity, more of the beauty coming into your world. And just allow yourself to receive it, allow it to grow in your soul. And just retain that in your awareness as you bring your attention back to your body, bring your attention back into this room, and sustaining that elevated positivity in your awareness. All right. You guys doing all right there? You back? All right. So now we're going to do the offering for the home center, that which sustains us financially and keeps us in good relations with the bank. And all of the services that we use in the city, electricity, maintenance, clean roof without moss. We're still in the process of getting our roof cleaned. Yeah. They're doing a good job. They just don't show up real often because it's sunny. They have several jobs they're doing at once. And when it's sunny like this, they're doing the jobs where the roof is bare, and they're doing other roof jobs. When it rains, they come and take the moss off. So we're not hoping for rain, but we are hoping that they get back to the job pretty soon and finish it up. All right. So, gift to the home center. Put it between your hands and just send the energy of love and blessings and abundance and deep gratitude for the abundance that you already have, the flow from the universe that you already have. And we'll just see that growing more and more as it's received into the home center, blessing the home center, and sent back out into the universe and coming back to you, blessing you with all of your wants, needs, and desires that are going to serve your highest and your greatest good. Amen. All right. So for the purposes of the broadcast, we'll have Dick come back up and give the closing statement and then the closing prayer, and then I'll come back up and do announcements.
For today's closing statement, from Remembering Who You Truly Are, God's Day 281, Recovery. Remembering there is something that loves you with everlasting love. Something that loves you no matter how badly you make a mess of your life. It's always there with every beat of your heart. To this infinite love, you can gladly surrender because you can trust it. Without that love, there is no motive to recover and heal. Without that love, there is no use trying to put the broken pieces of your life back together again. All recovery efforts will fail. The pieces cannot be put back together in their old, flawed pattern. They can only be reassembled in a new way by your higher self in a new pattern and glued together by divine love. Today, remember there is something within you that loves you with everlasting love. Let your daily prayer be, loving God, rebuild me in thy image. And now, before I get into the closing prayer, October, for all practical purposes, has come to an end, and November is raring to begin. It's got to hold it for a little bit yet, though. It's a couple of days. In the meantime, if I were God, what would I do in the next few days? Well, God is unlimited, so here goes. It's time for the world according to Dick. If I were God, closing prayer. If I were God, I would paint the world in love and add some makeover trim of forgiveness. I would decorate the dry lands in blessings and plenty and add beautiful darting silver sprites to the crystal clean and clear oceans and lakes. Yes, as God, I created this place a few billion years ago, and now I think it's time to spruce it up a bit. With all the squabbling going on between the local inhabitants, I can see a need for a lot more common sense. I think I need to add more zing to the trim color, forgiveness as well. What I don't want to forget is compassion. I think I'll use that as an overall seasoning with touches of love, forgiveness, and lots of light, so those inhabitants can see my energies better in each other's eyes. I'm going to take hate and discontent off the menu, and there will be no sides of destruction and meddling offered. Well, that's a good 6 days of work. I think the job's well done, and the locals can handle it from here. So in God and Christ, love and light, from Dick, I pray, amen.
Amen.
You got a back match. Oh, I forgot. For those watching on Facebook and YouTube, this ends our Sunday service for today. Home Spiritual Center, out.